Diplomacy just got awkward and a little telling. A moment on camera at the Gaza Peace Summit says more than a dozen press releases ever could. Meanwhile, India is playing its cards carefully. One move in Egypt, another in Ottawa, and a quiet shake-up in how you'll soon book your next flight. Oh, and there's a massive river project up north that could change India's energy story for decades. Stick around, the details are worth it. Good morning. Welcome to Top of the Morning by Mint. I'm your host, Nelson John. This is your smart daily briefing on what matters. From big moves in business to headlines shaping India and the world, we cut through the noise so you start your day informed and ahead. It's Tuesday, October 14th. Let's get started. Donald Trump just gave everyone a front row seat to some awkward diplomacy at the Gaza Peace Summit in Egypt. The US president was praising Prime Minister Narendra Modi when things took an interesting turn. Pakistan Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif was standing right behind him, and what happened next is worth watching. Let's see it.
And we're behind you 100%. That's hungry. India is a great country with a very good friend of mine at the top, and he's just done a fantastic job. And I think that Pakistan and India are going to live very nicely together, right? That's not a very... They are. And they're two great, I tell you, leaders, great leaders as far as I'm concerned.
That moment right there, Trump praising India and Modi, then literally turning around to ask Sharif if Pakistan and India are going to live very nicely together. Sharif just smiled and nodded. Classic Trump diplomacy. Here's the backstory. Trump has been claiming for months that he stopped a war between India and Pakistan back in May. His version? He threatened both countries with massive tariffs to force peace. I said, if you guys want to fight a war and you have nuclear weapons, I'm going to put big tariffs on you both like 100%, 150 and 200%. I had the thing settled in 24 hours, he told reporters on Sunday. India has repeatedly denied this. New Delhi says any de-escalation was reached bilaterally, no American intervention involved. No tariff threats, just direct talks between the two countries. But Sharif is playing along. At the summit, he credited Trump with stopping the war and even pushed for a Nobel Peace Prize for him. Pakistan actually nominated Trump earlier this year for his diplomatic intervention and pivotal leadership. The 2026 prize, however, went to Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado. Modi wasn't at the Egypt summit. He sent Minister of State Kirti Singh instead. But Modi did issue a statement praising Trump's sincere efforts at bringing peace to the Middle East and welcoming the release of Israeli hostages. Now, what this really shows is Trump's positioning himself as a global peacemaker, crafting a narrative of diplomatic wins, whether all parties involved agree with that version of events or not. And he's doing it on the world stage with other leaders literally standing behind him. Congress leader Tharoor just called out the government over who it sent to Egypt's Gaza Peace Summit. 27 heads of state gathered in Sharm el-Sheikh to discuss ending the Israel-Hamas war. India sent Minister of State Kirti Singh, a junior external affairs minister. Tharoor posted on X asking if this was a strategic restraint or a missed opportunity. He clarified it's not about Singh's competence, but about protocol. Given the galaxy of grandees present, India's choice could be seen as signaling a preference for strategic distance, he wrote. His concern, access and influence. When you're not at the same level as other attendees, your voice carries less weight in discussions about Gaza's reconstruction and regional peace. Singh, for his part, met Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and said the summit underscored the global commitment to peace and dialogue. He added that India reaffirms its unwavering dedication to peace, stability, and enduring security within the Middle East. The question remains whether India's diplomatic approach here was deliberate positioning or an understatement of the summit's importance. India and Canada hit reset on their relationship after 2 years of diplomatic freeze. Canadian Foreign Minister Anita Anand met Prime Minister Narendra Modi and External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar on Monday. She's the first Canadian minister to visit India since former PM Justin Trudeau accused Indian agents of involvement in the killing of Khalistani activist Hardeep Singh Nijjar in September 23. India has dismissed that claim as absurd and relations nosedived. Fast forward to now, the two sides unveiled a roadmap covering trade, investment, agriculture, technology, and clean energy, along with AI and critical minerals. They're resuming talks on a bilateral trade agreement that was halted when relations cratered. Bilateral trade was worth $23.66 billion in 2024. Here's what's changed. Several security meetings between India and Canadian officials since late last year helped close this gap. Canada recently designated the Lawrence Bishnoi gang a terrorist entity, addressing one of India's key concerns about transnational criminal networks. Jaishankar noted meetings between National Security Advisor in September and Trade Minister in October that paved the way. The joint statement emphasized a constructive and balanced partnership grounded in respect for each other's concerns and sensitivities. The roadmap includes relaunching ministerial energy dialogues, resuming the Canada-India CEO Forum and cooperation on critical minerals, civil nuclear energy, and digital infrastructure. Vikas Swarup, India's former High Commissioner to Canada, called the visit pivotal. The reset that started during the G7 summit in Kananaskis is well and truly moving forward. What this truly means is that both countries decided that the cost of continued hostility outweighed their differences. Practical interests won over political tensions. Here's something that might change how Indians book flights. The government launched Fare Se Fursat, which translates to freedom from fare stress, and it does exactly what it says. Alliance Air, the state-owned regional carrier, is now offering fixed ticket prices on select routes. Book a month ahead or book an hour before takeoff. Same price. No surge pricing, no last-minute panic. Civil Aviation Minister Ram Mohan Naidu made it official on October 13th. The scheme perfectly aligns with the core principle of the Udan scheme, he said at the launch, referring to the government's mission to make flying accessible to ordinary Indians. Let's break it down. India's airlines typically use dynamic pricing. Demand goes up, prices shoot up, sometimes overnight. It's been a constant complaint from passengers, especially those booking last-minute or from smaller cities. This pilot program runs until December 31st, 2025. Well, the idea here is to test if fixed fares actually work before rolling them out nationwide. Alliance Air, well, isn't your typical carrier. They connect 59 Indian destinations and one international to Jaffna, Sri Lanka. Think Shimla, Kulu, Rourkela, Bhuj, places that bigger airlines often skip. They operate 137 flights daily with a fleet of ATR aircrafts. The minister positioned this as a part of a broader push. Tea for 10 rupees at airports, coffee for 20 rupees. Now predictable airfares, all aimed at what he called democratizing aviation for the middle and lower middle class. What this really means is that the government is betting that transparent pricing will get more first-time flyers from Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities into the air. India just unveiled one of its biggest energy infrastructure plans, and it's all about tapping the Brahmaputra River's massive untapped potential. The Central Electricity Authority, CEA, released a 6.4 trillion rupee plan on Monday to generate more than 76 gigawatts of hydroelectric power from the Brahmaputra by 2047. That's about $76 billion. The plan covers 208 large hydro projects across northeastern states. Arunachal Pradesh alone holds 52.2 gigawatts of potential, more than half the total. The Brahmaputra basin holds over 80% of India's untapped hydroelectric potential. Here's the strategic angle. The river rises in Tibet and flows through India. China has been building dams upstream, and Indian officials worry this could cut dry season water flows by up to 85%. The rollout happens in two phases. Phase 1 runs till 2035 and costs 1.91 trillion rupees. Phase 2 takes another 4.52 trillion rupees. Now, what this really means for India is that it's betting big on hydropower to boost its climate target of 500 gigawatts of non-fossil fuel capacity by 2030. That's all for today. Thank you for joining. We're eagerly looking forward to our next Top of the Morning episode, which will be packed with the latest news. Until then, this is Nelson John signing off. Have a great day.